Hello everyone, how are you? It's Michelle Lloyd here, founder of United Art Space, and this is the last live session that I will be doing, and I feel a bit sad. I feel very emotional actually today. Oh my gosh, I really do. So behind me you'll see not everyone is on there yet. I've had loads of people come in, and I haven't had a chance to turn you into a post-it note, but I will. Who's just joined? We've had Georgina from the UK, Leah from the UK, Alison from the UK, Louise from the UK, Jill from the UK, Laura from the USA, Jane from the UK, Leah from the UK, and I've had, hello Lottie, how are you? And then I've just had loads more pings coming in saying that more people have joined, so it is so exciting and I feel very emotional. Who's just come in? Mary from Australia, welcome. Samantha from the UK, welcome. Katie from the UK, hello. David, hello. I will be in touch with you all very, very soon. Maria from Canada, hello. So, oh gosh, yeah, I'm a little bit tired today because I've been working, as you know, I've been working pretty hard the last couple of weeks, and but I absolutely love doing these workshops and running the hub. It is my dream, and actually I feel a bit emotional today because if you get anything out of this experience, the one thing I want you to take from this is to never ever give up on your dream, because this whole experience, the last couple of weeks, has just been incredible for me. I cannot tell you how amazing it makes me feel to be able to do this for people, but also to read all the amazing gosh, what's wrong with me? I need to get a grip. To read all the amazing transformations and to know that it's helped. And when I first started these, I just thought, even if it helps one person, then it's been worth it. And gosh, sorry, I didn't plan on doing this. But I got thinking this morning to a time when things were very difficult for me. Very, 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 very difficult. And if you could have seen where I was about 15 years ago, I was a mess. I was a mess, and I never thought that I'd amount to anything. I promise you that. So it's very, very important week, and I just want you all to know as well that sometimes you feel like you're not getting anywhere, and sometimes you feel like it's never going to happen for you, and I don't know where I'm going, and I can't do this, I'm not good enough. And I just want you, if you've taken anything from the last 2 weeks, I want you to know that you can do it. You can. If I can do it, and I've done this, and I still have to pinch myself with what I'm doing at the moment, I literally cannot believe it. And if I can do it, I know you can. And I'm working with my members inside the hub, and I was doing the interviews with them yesterday, and to listen to the transformations, because I don't hear the deep stuff. And so doing those interviews yesterday really moved me, because made me realise that someone was saying how hard it is to explain the hub, and it is difficult because it's we're not just teaching people how to sell their art, it's teaching people how to be confident and believe in themselves, and to actually have the courage to be the person that they want to be and they can be. And so to hear that from the members yesterday, it's really overwhelmed me in a good way, in a really good way. But it's made me really think. I'm tired as well. I'm tired. I'm so emotional today. But I'm emotional because of that, because I'm so proud of everyone that joined with, most of the members joined filled with absolute fear. Some of them couldn't even call themselves an artist. Some of them just couldn't even, were too scared to even share their profile picture online and share anything with anyone. And now they are doing all of that, and they're selling things and making art that makes them happy, and it's just the best feeling. So I just want to thank everyone for just being part of this. Even if you don't intend to join the hub, thank you so much for being part of these workshops, and for showing up, and for commenting, and for supporting each other as well, because every time I do these, it amazes me that we attract people that just want to support other people, and there aren't many groups out there that do that. And so what we've got is special, and I'm grateful, because it's you guys that make it that. So thank you so much. And yeah, so right, I'm going to do a Q&A. Oh, wow. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Kate. Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Alicia. Good morning, Judith. Good morning, Tina. Don't cry, you'll make me start. Pete says, I'll second that 100%. Oh, thank you for feeling, thank you for supporting, and just thank you for being there. It's amazing to know that there are like-minded people who care and want to help. Like I said, I've sent you a private message sharing a little about my background too. Thank you so much for sharing with us all. Big hug. Yes, I just want to say that I have had lots of emails and lots of messages, so just know that I will be catching up as soon as I've got today out the way, because today is the last day. All the workshops come down later today, in about 12 hours from now, 11 hours from now. And we've got the art party to celebrate the ending of all of this, which I won't be crying on that, because I'll be with Sharon. I'll be laughing my head off later. Because those who know Sharon and I, when we get together, we do have a giggle. So I'm looking forward to that. So we'll be getting together and making some art together. And I'm sorry if you can't make that. We will do another one again soon. But so just to recap, the workshops come down at 10 p.m. tonight. That's UK time, UTC +1. So go and watch them quickly, download everything. And then the art party is tonight. I'm saying tonight because I'm in the UK, 9 p.m. UK time. Till 10 p.m, so it's an hour. It's informal, we can't see you, so you can turn up in your PJs without your hair done or whatever, and just bring some art materials, and we will basically make art together whilst chatting about the awesomeness of the last 2 weeks and art in general. People love these art sessions that we do. So that's a quick recap of everything. And then, of course, if you want to join me inside the hub, today is your last chance to do that. So enrolment to the hub closes at 10 p.m. This evening. So after the art party finishes, the hub will be closing for enrolment, and I then disappear. I will still be around on the United Art Space page. I usually do top tips on a Monday for 10 minutes. But I will be immersing myself inside the hub and working with all the new members who've joined to really now start to break down the overwhelm, give you the next steps, breaking it all down for you. And we are going to be gearing up for the year, closing the year on a high, so that you can be really prepared for starting 2020. I mean, what a year, 2020. I'm excited just by the number. It's a significant year, so we want to start 2020 off with a bang and make sure that you are feeling focused, prepared, confident, and we will be making a plan for you and making sure that you're going to have the best year ever next year. So yeah, it's going to be amazing. So I shall put the link. I'm going to do a Q&A session now, so in the comments, fire away if you've got any questions. I'm just going to have a look around on all the posts and things now for any questions. These are put me on the spot questions. I haven't looked at any of them, so I will just read them out. So gosh, I'm cold today. It is cold in this house. So there was I just need to get the Facebook post up because I've just put a Facebook post in the group saying, does anyone have any questions? Let me go and have a look. Final questions. Kevin's asking, can I have a job? I did say ask me anything and I fell right into that one. So let's see. Okay, so Mary is asking, with pricing, when you say to add a little extra on top, how much would you say when you are starting out? Or are you just saying anything? Good question, Mary. I thought it was a bit vague. Was I just saying add a little bit extra? The thing is, when you first start out, I think, and every situation is so different, and you've just got to do what you're comfortable with. So covering the cost of your materials and is an absolute must. And then is depending how long it took you, you could charge an hourly rate that you're comfortable with for the time that it took you. If though, for example, you spent like 20 hours on it, and the price is coming out at an extortionate amount, then you might not want to do it that way. So in that case, I would add a fee that you're comfortable with, because in those early stages, it's more about the experience and the sale, and then the fact that you've sold. That is the best. Oh, it's the best experience ever. And so, as long as you're happy with the amount that you got, and you're not undervaluing too much, it's okay to go low in those early stages, when you're not 100% confident where you're going in the direction you're going in, and maybe you haven't got a collection yet. So, don't worry, because you can put your prices up. If you figure that, gosh, I really did underprice that one, you can put the price up for the next one. So the important thing is to get going. But yeah, it's a great question. So hopefully that helps answer that one. No, Mary. And then underneath she says, I've just signed up for the hub, so all good, I'll find my answers there. Well, you will, Mary, because I'll help you. So I said yesterday, I am going to help all the members price their work by the end of November. So everyone will have their pricing sorted out by the end of November inside the hub. Gail, hello. Yes, how do I get over or deal with my probably emotional block to asking for money? Oh, I love this one. I just had a request to have one-to-one lessons with me and asking for money sent to me in a panic. I was even thinking, will they think this is free? Should I ask for money at all? I did it and I was okay, but it was a real block. Gail, oh my gosh, this is such a fantastic question, and one that I can relate to, because let me tell you a story. So back when I set up United Art Space, I'd got another business doing branding and websites, and it was kind of like I was on maternity leave, just fell into that basically. And I was earning quite good money for that. But I did find that fear. I found that it was uncomfortable. And so I did a lot of work on money mindset. And I uncovered quite a lot. And in fact, there's a whole lesson, because I've gone through this myself. There's a whole lesson inside the hub about money mindset and how to overcome it. And I give you some exercises in there based on the ones that I did. But when I then launched United Art Space, so I was running that business and I was quite comfortable. In the end, I was being paid quite a lot per hour. And it wasn't an issue for me in that industry. But then as soon as I set up United Art Space, and I remember the first course we ever did was Make Your Mark. And I remember creating that course with Sharon, and we put a lot of effort into that course, and took a lot of time filming it and all of that. And then when it came to selling it, I loved talking about it. And I loved, everything else about it. As soon as I got on a video and then I was like, hang on, it's for sale. I just kind of like, I did not want to do that bit. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I've got a problem. And it made me realise in that moment, I need to get over this, because I can't grow a business if I can't sell the course. So so then I went on a journey and explored all of this. So yeah, there's a big lesson inside. But to cut a very long story short, the crux of it is that in your subconscious and in your mind, then you have issues around money, and there'll be deep rooted reasons. And so the best thing is to dig into those, and that's what I do inside the hub, is to dig into the reasons you're feeling towards money. Because you can't move past that until you understand where that fear around money and charging is coming from, and it's different for everybody. And so yeah, there's a whole lesson inside the hub which is very, very helpful. But you're so right to work on that. You really need to work on it. And one thing that I do inside that lesson inside the hub is teach you how to make friends with money, because money is an energy source, and it's got so many negative connotations, and money is the root to all evil and all of this. And actually, it's only the root to all evil if it ends up in evil hands. And good people who earn money do good things with money. And there's nothing wrong with earning money and wanting to have money. And also there's nothing wrong with people paying for things. And I think it's good to get people into that mindset of pain and value in things, because when we do that, and I found this, when people commit to the hub, they're paying for it. They make it work. They put the work in because they're paying for it. And so when we pay for things, we value them more and we look after them more. And so that's what we'll teach you inside the hub if you choose to join. Is working around that. So working around what is blocking you and what is your feeling towards money. And when you start to get really clear on how you feel about money, you change your money story, basically. There'll be stuff inside your head that you're telling yourself. And when I first did this exercise, I was blown away, because I didn't really think. I thought I love money and I like going on holidays and I like spending it and I like earning it. I didn't think that I had any issue with money, and so I was quite surprised what came up for me, and lots of stories from childhood and things like that came up, and I was crying and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that this was an issue. And this is what happens with the mind. Is very powerful. It holds on to stories from the past, and if you don't deal with them, they contribute to the decisions that you make in the future. When you get that gut feeling, or you get a feeling that something's not right, and it's usually because of something that you're holding on to. And so we do a lot of work inside the hub on money mindset, and to really just accept that money is an amazing source of energy that we all need. It's like water. It's something that we need, and money is a beautiful thing, actually. Can buy you amazing experiences. You can make a difference with it. You can change the world with it. You can give it back to charity if you feel bad about earning lots, and you can pay for experiences for your family and your friends. And so yeah, it's a really good question, because I know that this affects a lot of people, the money mindset thing. For sure. Hannah is saying, is there a rough timescale to move between each of the steps from saying, say, aspiring to emerging, etc.? I guess how many miles in a marathon? I've seen some work for crazy prices like 200,000. I'm guessing that is an artist 30 years down the line. Great question, Hannah. So there is no answer to this, though, because the path is different for everybody, and it's different for everyone because we're all different people to start out with. Some people, it takes a long time to figure the 7 steps out, the 7 keys, and people like to work at their own pace. They've got responsibilities. So we've got hub turtles. And the hub turtles they're taking it in their own strides. They're not in the race, and they're just happy to just find their voice and find their place at their own pace, so they're not stressed out and juggling other things. And so they've made that conscious decision to take that slower pace. There are some people in the hub who are hungry and they're working through every lesson, and they're taking action and taking bigger strides forward. And yeah, you're right. The people who are further down the line, so the people that are charging 200,000. Now, it definitely takes time, but I wouldn't say it takes 30 years to get to that point, because if you apply everything that I've taught and teach inside the 7 keys, and you focus on your work, your voice, the emotion, who it's for, the where, all of those ingredients, and if you keep going and you keep applying that and you put in the work, you will make progress. It's inevitable. I really seriously believe that because you keep going. I just honestly 100% believe that you will get there. And so, and it's constant working on your mindset, working on your confidence, working on your belief, and working through those times where you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, ever evolving, going round and round those 7 keys all the time. And I mean, I know people who, goodness me, they're earning a lot. I mean, there's quite a lot of people. I mean, I went to an event in Canada recently, and one of the guys there, Nicholas Wilton, that I met, he's going to be coming in to do an interview with us very soon. He's amazing. He's an abstract artist, and he just made nearly $1 million this year from his art sales and teaching. $1 million. And that hasn't, I mean, he's been in the business for a while, but not 30 years. So there's no answer. All you can do is keep striving, keep making plans, keep going, keep refining, keep going through the 7 keys, and set yourself those goals. And who knows, you could get there in 3 years, you could get there in 4 years, 10 years. There's just no answer. The exciting thing is we don't know, and it could happen to anyone. But what I will say is it's not overnight. I've had people message me saying, how can I fast track through all of this? I wish I had a magic wand and I could fast track you through it. There is no way. But if you have time and you show up and you put in the work and you do this on a daily basis, you will see results quickly. You will. So, but still, I would say not overnight. But I've seen people see results within months of applying this. And again, everyone's results and success is different. For some people in the hub, they are there to find their voice and carve out their place, and making the living isn't so important. It's important to them that they really leave the mark on the world and they leave work behind that they're proud of, and the making the living is like, if that happens, then amazing. Then I've got other people where this is my life and I want to make this a living. I'm in this job, I don't like it, and I want to get out, and that is success to them. Success to them is replacing their income. And then I've got artists that, yes, they only want to make 1 work a year and they want to, make a few 100,000. And so everyone's got their own journey, their own goals, their own destination, and it works at different paces for everyone. And I wish I could say this is going to happen in a year, but like I say, I've seen people get results within a few months, and some people it's taken them, just over a year. But one thing I will say, Hannah, is that yes, when you're comparing yourself to those people that earn the big bucks, it's always good to look at their history, for sure, because some people compare themselves and they think they've got to have all this stuff and all these websites and all this stuff, but that it grows, you grow into all of that. So that's a good point. A question here: if we can't join this time, will you be opening the hub again for membership? Yes, we usually open twice a year, and I don't know when the next enrolment is just yet because I have not even thought about next year. So what I usually do is plan on my year planner. I've got my year plan up there. I plan all my holidays, kids' holidays, and things like that, and then I'll start to get my head around when I'll be launching the hub again. But if you join the wait list, you will be the first to know. So I will send the link out once the launch is over. I will send the link out with the link to join the waitlist. Let me go back. Laura saying I have a full day and I still need to do the worksheets. Now that I have joined the hub, I can still do the worksheets. Right, yes, so everything gets moved over to the hub, Laura. So if you joined the hub, you don't have to rush into watching everything. Should have said that in the email. Yeah, everything's moved over and you will have access to everything in your own time and your own pace. And you can even track your progress inside the hub. So yeah, don't fret. You can access everything in there. When you do your job with so much passion, everyone can feel it and appreciate it. It's so true, isn't it, Alicia? And I just took me a long time to figure out what I wanted to do. Because even when I did my art, I loved my art. Don't get me wrong, I spent 6 years being an artist and just making art every day. And oh gosh, best years ever. Best years ever. But even then, I still felt it was like a therapy for me. That's why it was my best years ever. It was therapy, for sure. And but I still felt unfulfilled. And I kept saying all the way through, oh, I just want to help other people. And people kept saying, do you want to teach how to make art? And I was like, no. And I just couldn't understand where I was going. And it's so true that Steve Jobs thing, that the dots add up in the end for you. They do. And there'll be times when you feel like you've got it as well. And then you change again. So, and I haven't made art for myself for a long time because the hub and United Art Space has just been my 100% passion. But now I'm finding my feet with it. I'm now planning on taking Fridays off to get back in the studio and start finding my why again and making. Because I'm starting to miss it now, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like I couldn't juggle the two before, especially when I was writing the 7 keys. Ugh, I couldn't do that and make art at the same time. No way. No way, Jose. So I understand and appreciate people who are in full-time job trying to juggle both. It's hard to flip between, being really creative and doing something completely different. I started my mindset lessons in the hub and think I'm on the growth side of things. I have already signed up for a course in Jan 2020. I know growth isn't just about the art. Any suggestions on growth in confidence? Yes. So definitely growing confidence will definitely come from being inside the hub, because what I've found, and this is what I've learned from speaking to the members yesterday, is that confidence comes from believing in yourself and having the faith that something good can happen in all of this, and then understanding what you need to do and having that reassurance that you're on the right track. So, members inside the hub have said that they join, they always feel overwhelmed at first, but then they have the focus and they use the 7 keys. Then they start to make art that's really them, and they have the confidence to be that person. And then it kind of like snowballs then, because you then start finding your people, you get amazing feedback from people, it all starts to boost your confidence. You come to the hub and you've got a question because you don't know what you're doing, you get the answer, so then you feel like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. And all of that is fueling your confidence. And of course, there'll be times when your confidence is completely knocked, when you get rejected, when you get people say horrible things about your work, and you keep topping it up all the time. That bucket, I always think of confidence as a bucket that's always leaking out, and you have to keep it topped up. And so there are definitely ways that you can help keep your confidence and that belief, because I think the self-belief and confidence work together. because if you lose self-belief, you lose your confidence. And if you start to lose confidence in yourself, you start to lose the belief that you can make all of this happen. So confidence and self-belief work together. And so there are definitely other things that you can do to build your confidence and self-belief. Obviously, being supported by other people in the hub. Definitely having a network of people is so, so important, because those days where you're knocked, to have those people to go to is the most valuable asset you'll ever have. And then there's things that you can do to your brain. So in fact, when you join the hub, you will have access to some amazing meditations. We've got a member inside the hub called Carl, and he teaches meditation, and he's very kindly created meditations for our hub members. And those meditations are to help you grow confidence and to help you. There's also one that helps you with your who. It helps you imagine your people. It's such an amazing meditation. So working on the brain, because everything comes from the brain. But then we've also got some courses inside, Kate, on speaking with confidence and things like that, because it's the brain, the body, and just knowing that your confidence is going to grow as you learn more, as you become comfortable in your own skin and you learn how to accept yourself. That for me has been massive in my confidence, accepting who I am, accepting my flaws, accepting the things that I get wrong, and knowing that that is okay. And like for example, because I have dyslexia, so it blows my mind now that I've wrote the 7 key ingredients, because I hate writing. It just blows my mind that that came out of me. And also, I have problems reading. And so years ago, if you'd have told me I'd have sat here live reading people's names out or things off a screen, it would have seriously given me a panic attack, and I'd have said, no, I would not do that, because I had a massive phobia of reading out loud, reading off paper. I even was terrified of reading children's books and of making myself look silly. I was scared of... I worked in a call centre for a while, and I was absolutely terrified of saying anyone's name in case I got it wrong. And I remember when I first started doing this, I still had that fear. And if I saw names, I literally spent, this is no joke, I spent hours Googling how to pronounce names, and I still do it sometimes now. Because I was absolutely crippled with fear. But now I'm confident about that, and now I'm confident to say, I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm sorry. And so that's a thing for me, which might sound silly for others, but we've all got those things inside of us where we don't feel confident. There might be something like we feel is a weakness. And the more we accept that and grow confidence in that and accept ourselves and love ourselves, if we've got to stop bullying ourselves. I've said this before, that voice inside your head that says, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. You're so rubbish. Why did you say that? If you turn around to your best friend and spoke to your best friend like that, you're so rubbish. Why did you do that? I can't believe you did that. No, don't do that. You're so rubbish. Stop it. If you spoke to your friend like that, you would be a bully. And we bully ourselves, and we've got to stop bullying ourselves. And that's one of the biggest lessons in confidence and self-belief, is to stop bullying yourself and to be aware of those stories and the voices, because and to stop that, because, and that's what I'm going to teach you in the hub, adapting a different mindset and being aware of those things, because you can't carry on bullying yourself. Because what happens when someone gets bullied? It cripples them, they shrivel, and they don't feel worth anything. And that's what I was doing all those years ago. I was bullying myself. I was criticizing everything that I did. Because I couldn't read a name, I would beat myself up and feel stupid and I guess I was telling myself I was stupid. And so it feels amazing now to sit here today and be able to not be filled with that fear anymore, and to be able to laugh at myself if I read something out wrong, or if I make a mistake, a spelling mistake or a grammar mistake. I can laugh it off now. It took me a long time to do that, but that is part of confidence and accepting yourself. And it grows that confidence, and you can do it. You can retrain yourself, you can retrain your brain. And I'm speaking from huge experience of being right down on the floor, not being able to function. And I've done it. So yeah, so I can give loads and loads of tips on confidence and self-belief. Money ain't that bad when you have enough to pay the bills. Well, it's funny you should say that, Alicia, because even when you get enough money to pay the bills, what you find is you grow, and then your expenses grow and other things grow. And so it's always a constant thing where Sharon was saying this, she's hit a big financial goal this year and she still feels like she hasn't got enough money. And yet that was like a massive dream to her 3 years ago, and she thought that she would just, be rolling in it. And so, yeah, it's an ever-evolving thing. Kevin missed the start. I'll have to catch up, no problem. Mandy saying mindset is everything, and around money, I guess it is no different. Yeah. If you deny yourself money, you won't actually help anyone else. So why not accept we all need it? Michelle, you speak such sense. Mandy, you're so right. And so, and it all starts from you within, doesn't it? And so feeling why you've got this fear around asking for money, it starts there. And changing your story about money as well was a massive thing for me. I think people feel like maybe they're going to appear greedy, especially art being a personal creation. It's hard then to put a financial figure on that, and it feels then like a commodity and something that you're selling, and people say, oh, you're selling your soul. All these stories that you read and hear, it fuels that fear inside of you that, oh my gosh, I shouldn't be charging for this. So the more you can surround yourself with people that are doing it, and then, I mean, goodness me, I promise you, when you start growing and you start carving out your place in the art world, you start realizing that we're very parochial, and when we're living in the world that we're living in right now, and I'm talking about our own little world here, not the big world. I'm talking about the world as we see it. So I've got my own little world, my people who are in my world, and this is what I see. This is my view. You've got your own people and the way you see the world. And so what's expensive to you and is different to what's expensive to me. And when you start to carve out your place in the world, you start to expand, and then you start to look up to people, your mind is blown by actually there's other worlds going on that we aren't part of yet. And they make our world seem very insignificant, actually. And so this is what has blown my mind by me growing, has made me realise that, and this is why I know the hub is very reasonable, because I've now started to open my mind to what's going on in the world that I'm in, these online things, and people are charging a lot of money every month. And some of the courses are very expensive, but also in the art world. Sharon says she's found this, so she was charging, $800, felt like that was expensive because she was at the art fairs and it seemed like it was really expensive there. But now she's going to these galleries and they're going, oh, is your work only £1,500? Oh, that's a bit cheap for us, because our gallery usually sells around 3,000, and they're just churning out this work at 3,000. So it becomes relative. You start to expand and grow and see, oh my gosh, actually, this is quite cheap what I'm charging. And so it expands your mind and opens your mind as you start growing and as you start carving your place out in the world. So, but it's exciting when you start to recognise it, because this money thing, it's got me thinking, actually. I usually do a video on money mindset. But yeah, there's a big lesson inside the hub, but I must remember to do that next time we run these again, because money mindset is big. And I love talking about money mindset because you can definitely turn things around. And there's definitely ways to combat that thing if you feel like you know, if you have got very, very expensive pieces, you can have more affordable pieces for other people. And when you start earning lots of money, like Sharon said, I'm earning loads of money now and I'm starting to feel guilty. There's things that you can do to give back and to make a difference. And so, anyway, I'm rambling. Tina, I think the thing is we don't see art as work, so we feel we have not earned the money. Yeah, that's a switch that you need to turn around right now. I was talking to someone about this inside the hub. She said that she felt guilty making art. She felt guilty, and people would turn up and say, "Oh, do you want to come and do this?" And she'd be thinking, "Well, I really want to be making my art today." And when you make the switch to art being your work, it's non-negotiable. If you had a job, and someone was saying this to me, how do you know what to say no to and what to say yes to? And I said, you know, if you had a job and you've got to turn up for work, you expect to be there on time and you expect to turn up and you be expected to do your work. And if your friend, relative phoned up and said, can you come and have the kids? Can you come and do this? Can you come and do my garden? You wouldn't just drop your job and go, sorry, I've just got to go and take the afternoon off to go and help some people, because you're showing up for work. And when you start to think about your art as your job, it's non-negotiable. You show up because you have to be there. You've got to do the work. Because if you don't show up for your art and to be there and to turn this into, you know, the dream that you want it to be, it won't happen. You'll get the sack. You know, if you didn't show up for your job, you wouldn't get anything done. And so this is something I help you inside the hub, is to carve out that you need non-negotiable time where you show up for work. And that's what I have. I can't do anything today. I'm showing up, I'm working. And some people feel guilty in those early stages when they're not making any money from it. But you've got to work on that mindset and keep going. This is your passion. So when people set up a business, say you've got someone, they've set up a florist, they will invest lots of money, lots of time, go and buy lots of flowers, go and work out a business plan, go and invest in someone that's teaching them how to do it. They will set it all up. They will probably in the first year, you know, if they're lucky, they'll cover their overheads if they're lucky. Most businesses make a loss in the first year. Being an artist is the same. But the florist will keep going. They've got a vision. They're going to make this work. And so it's the same for artists. You don't make the profit and the living straight away, just like any other person setting up a business. It takes time to grow. It takes time for that florist to get her name out there. It takes time for her to get people through the door and for them to get to know her and go, oh, you know, you should go and see that florist down there. It takes time. And so in those early stages, you hold on to that vision and you believe it, and you surround yourself with people that believe in you. And especially the days where you don't believe in yourself, surround yourself with the people that believe in what you are doing, because they will lift you and keep you going. Tell you a quick story. When I set up United Art Space, excuse me, now I put a lot of work into United Art Space, and it was actually when I set up the hub. So I'd been running United Art Space for a year, but it wasn't, I didn't see it as a business or anything like that. It was fun. I wanted to just create a place for artists, and we did art challenges. Then when I flipped it to the hub, and I thought, because I couldn't carry on just doing it for fun because I needed to make a living. And I realised that to carry this on, I need to make a living from this, to have this impact. And I flipped it around then to seeing the need and wanting to help people, and created the hub. And then what happened then, I gave up my old job that was paying me a lot of money. I was self-employed. I ditched my clients, not ditched, ended the contracts. That sounds awful, ditched. But I moved away from that because I thought I'm excited about United Art Space, and I'd grown a community, and I really believed in the hub, and I was, really excited about it. So I spoke to my husband and I said, I can't get this off the ground whilst I'm still doing this other work, so I'm going to transition. So I transitioned out of that job whilst I then threw myself into creating the 7 Keys and the hub. And then what happened was awful. My husband was made redundant. So I'd given up all of that pay. I had no money coming in, and my husband was made redundant and he had no payout. I tell you something, it was one of the scariest times of my entire life. We've got two small children and a house, and and a mortgage on another place, and that happened, and I was like, oh my gosh. And everyone said to me, is it time, Michelle, that you got a real job? And even the people that weren't saying it, I could feel it. And I'd come so far. I'm going to get emotional again now. I'd come so far, and my husband was really struggling to get a job, and we hit rock bottom. We literally hit rock bottom. And thank you to my mother-in-law for lending us some money so that we could pay our bills. And the hub members, no one knew about this. I just was about to launch the hub, and I launched. And, I got a few founding members. It was amazing, but it was nothing, nowhere near enough to pay our bills. Nowhere near enough. And Andrew and I were like, what are we going to do? And I said to him, I cannot give up on this. And I will not give up on this. And there were times where I was thinking, should I get a job? And we hit rock bottom, and we struggled through. And I just was determined, I am not giving up on this. I am not giving up on this dream. I have come this far. And, it went on a few months, and then we realised we couldn't lend money off anyone anymore. And then Andrew got a job. And it was like, oh my goodness gracious me. And it was at the point where we were about to have to give up the house or something. Something was going to have to give. And I kept showing up for the hub, and no one knew any of this was going on. And I kept showing up. And it's all paid off. I did not give up. I did not let go of that dream. And I'm not joking. We were in a massive situation, and I don't know how we got through it, but we did. And it's proved to me that you can hit rock bottom, and you can get through it, and you can still hang on to your dream. You can still hang on, and there would have been a way. If it came to it, I would have found a way, to do something else alongside or something whilst I was setting it all up. But the moral of that story is that no matter how hard things get, you can get through them. I've gone through some really tough times, financially, emotionally, and I've always got through them. You find a way. You really do. You find a way. Sue's just joined the hub. Oh my gosh, Sue, that's amazing. Oh, wonderful. I'm so pleased. So anyway, that was a long tangent, but still then, so that was the point. Sorry, Tina, I get really like, even then, I wasn't earning enough for it to be a living, but I still showed up as if it was work. I still showed up because this is my dream, and I'm classing this as my job. This is my job, and I believe that I can make this happen, and I believe that I can make it work. And so I guess that's why I've been emotional today, because it's working and it's happening. And so yes, hold on to your dream and know that you can do it. You can. And it's work. Show up for work. Pointing the finger. I think people still don't see art as a job, and I don't see what an artist does with everything we have. It's not just something to hang on the wall. It's used in everything. Yeah. And you know what? It's our job to actually come together and show people that art is something magnificent that you can turn into a living. And do you know what I love nowadays? And this is what I'm going to talk to you about inside the hub, is that selling your art is one part of it. And actually, it's quite exciting nowadays because there's lots of ways that you can supplement your income. If you're taking that leap to being self-employed. And this is what I was saying earlier. There's ways to earn money. And my mind is open now to, if there's something that we need, then I can figure out a way to bring some money in to pay for it. And this is the mindset I'm going to teach you, is that there will be ways. You have skills. There'll be ways that you can bring in extra money here and there by doing other things. There's exciting opportunities out there. Like I said, there's pockets of worlds that you don't know about yet. There's people who want crazy things and they'll pay for it. Oh man, there's an amazing group of women that I met in Canada, and I'm bringing them in to talk soon because they're so inspiring. And one of them is an artist. And what she does is she's created paint parties. So we're having like a virtual one tonight, but she has them in a local area. She throws paint parties, and she makes a lot of money from them because people want to hang out with other people. She doesn't teach, they just all come together and paint together. There's no pressure. And what she's done now is she's teaching other people how to host their own paint parties, because people are like, how do you even do this? She is making thousands and thousands a month, tens of thousands a month, from not only her art sales, but these paint parties, and teaching other people how to do the paint parties. It's the most relaxing, non-stressful job ever. She's painting, she's hanging out with other people who want to paint, and then she's going to other people, oh, if you want to learn, this is how you do it. And it's just amazing to see. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's days where it's tough for her and she's, it's stressful. But in all, she's doing something she absolutely loves. And this is the amazing thing about the internet and the opportunities around at the moment. There are huge ways to, not only sell your art, but become maybe this extension of the interests that you have and the things that you do. And this is why the Hub is so amazing, because it brings this out in you, this person that you are. And maybe there's other possibilities of growing things that you didn't know were there. But yeah, Kate, I think we're now training people to realise it. And people ask Sharon, say, oh, what do you do for a living? And she says, I'm an artist. And then she's had so many people go, so how do you make money? But, and in the days, in the early days, she would say, well, yeah, it's a bit of a struggle. But now she's comfortably saying, well, I just sell my art and I'm making a very good living, thank you. But, in those early days when you're not, don't let those people knock you down. Don't let them knock you down. You don't have to share how much you earn. You just share that you're on your journey and you're an artist. And I want everyone here to say out loud right now, I am an artist. And the more we network with each other and speak to like-minded people, it becomes more obvious that there is a very valuable and should be valued vocation. Yes, Mandy, and like you say, we're spreading that word as well. It's amazing. It's something that has come to me late, but so want to be an artist, call myself an artist and do it for a living. Say it out loud now. Okay, I am an artist. Lucy, hello, Lucy. Sorry, only just made it. We'll have to watch the replay, no problem. Hello, Laura's just hopped on. Tracy, I've joined the Hub a few days ago and only just had the nerve to log in. Oh, bless you, Tracy. I'm going to help you. Lots of people are feeling nervous about joining. It's very, very natural. And when I see those members yesterday doing live videos, oh my gosh, when they joined the Hub, they would never, and each one of them said this to me, I would never, ever have done a video, never mind live before. And that's what the Hub has done for them. It's brought them confidence to be able to come on a video with me and talk about their art and everything. And they were terrified when they joined. They were terrified. So I want you to know that, you're going to be just like them. Your confidence is going to soar, I promise you. Looking forward to getting stuck into the Hub, said Lucy. Yay! Do you still do art? Where can I see your work? Just curious. So yeah, I mentioned that earlier that I haven't done, but I am going to start taking Fridays off to start making. I'm making art in my head. It's taken me a long time to figure out my why again, and I'm starting to connect with that again, so I'm excited. I couldn't really think about it when I was going through all that stuff that I've just been talking about. So it's coming together. Tina's asking, do you think bigger pieces sell better than smaller ones? It depends on your people. Because if you are, if you're selling large scale pieces that go in, like my work was large scale. I used to make like 1.5 meter by 2.5 meter pieces, huge. And they would go in big loft conversions and, big houses and that worked for my people. And so they were the people that I were targeting. So I loved making big, large scale pieces. But some people are targeting a different kind of audience, and they like small pieces that will hang up in a little cottage or something like that. It all depends on your people, but also the work that you do want to make. I liked making big works. I don't like making small pieces. I like making big, large scale pieces that you can kind of step into. So again, that's my why. You can alter the scale. That's the negotiable part again. So, I did scan some of my pieces in and made them smaller. I didn't really like them. I didn't think that they worked on a smaller scale, but I tried it because not everyone wants the big, massive, massive piece. But so it really does depend on, as you start to go through, Tina, and you start to think about who your people are, and what the purpose is. You will play around with the scale, and get to know that from your people. All the answers, like that. I have people asking me about the scale and the medium and things like that. It all is about your people, and what they want to buy. And if you don't know that, it's trial and error to begin with, and learning and looking around at what's selling and what's happening and who else is making work like you and what are they doing, and going to the art fairs, where are the red dots, and taking all of that on board, but also not being afraid to do something a little bit different to what's selling, because let's face it, sometimes variety is the spice of life, isn't it? And sometimes when you don't follow the crowd and you're doing something completely different, it stands out. So it is all about doing, practicing, listening, watching, and growing. And you soon, Tina, like Sharon now, she 100% knows who her people are. She knows what scale works. She knows what kind works. And it's exciting when you start to get to that point. And it definitely comes from just going on the journey and growing. I've ever only really done small pieces, and in my experience, it doesn't matter, but I suppose it's all down to the subject. Some work better as small pieces. Yeah, there's that as well. Lucy says I work mostly in small scale. No, there's someone for everyone. I mean, look, sometimes I like buying tiny scale. Sometimes I like big scale. Sometimes I like to buy lots and lots of little scale pieces all together. There's no right or wrong answer. Go out there and look. There's artwork in all different scales being sold, all different shapes, sizes, circle. I saw someone doing diagonal pieces. I mean, you can paint on tea bags. There's no right or wrong. There's a really successful guy that paints with coffee. Someone was asking me about the medium. That was another question I got. Is medium important? They're a pencil artist, and they're worried that that won't be seen as a proper medium. And all I can say again is, I mean, like I just said, there's a guy that I know paints with coffee and he sells them for thousands. So you've got to use your voice, find your voice, develop your voice, find your people. Don't focus on the people that think that pencil is not a preferred medium. They're not your people. And there will be people that love pencil work, and find them. Carve out your own place. I remember Mary saying to me, I just don't think alcohol inks are a preferred medium. I just don't think I'm ever going to make it. And then she won an award. And she was like, oh, okay, now I think maybe they are. And now she's represented. But if she'd have just kept in her head that, oh, these alcohol inks, I'm never going to be sought after, or, I'm just going to be ridiculed because it's not a preferred medium, she would never have got to where she was today. So that's another thing also I want to quickly say is I've noticed people joining the hub, and this is natural. When you join, you see other artists and you start to think, oh my gosh, I'm not as good as them. Oh no, I should be doing this. Oh no. I do it still now when I compare myself. I'll come across someone who's doing what I do and they're amazing and they're doing all this stuff, and I think, oh no. But you've got to, and this is how I handle it, you've got to remind yourself you are you. You are you, and that's all you can be, and it's all you should be. Be the person you are, make the art that you want to make, and know that other person is another person with a different personality, with different goals, with different people. So I've got a lot of people that do the same thing that I do, but they do it differently to me. I do it my way, they do it their way. I find my people and they find their people. And now I've accepted that, and I just think that's a nice place to be. And as an artist, it's a nice place to be. It's easy to start looking around and thinking, oh, there's so many people already doing it, they do it better than me. You're looking at the art world from your perspective. So if you start to see people who you think are better than you, or there's so many people doing this already, so I might as well just give up, you're seeing it from your own perspective. The people who are buying aren't looking at all the other artists like you are and comparing your work to their work. They come across you and go, oh wow, I've never seen this before. But there could be like a bajillion people doing what you do, but they don't see it. And this is the exciting thing when you're carving out your place, because you have a voice, you'll start bringing in your own people. And they don't see what you see. They don't see Judith doing her amazing portraits, and they don't see Stacey doing her embroidery, and you thinking, I should be like them. Because you should just be like you, find your voice and find your people. That's just keep saying that to yourself. I am me. I'm finding my voice. I'm finding my people. You don't have to be like anybody else. You don't have to speak like anyone else. And you find your people. And if you start to find yourself going on Instagram and seeing all these other people that are doing the similar kind of things to you, just stop looking at them for a while until you can look at them and think, that's great. What they're doing is great, and they're finding their people, and I'm going to find mine. Start just saying that to yourself over and over again. Because when you think of that, when people are buying artwork, they're not looking at the art world like you're looking at it. They're looking at it completely different. They found you, and they're interested in your story, and they're interested in your work. So just remember that. It's like anything that starts as a hobby. My degree is in sport performance, but I volunteered to gain experience. Then I started a running club. I felt I could not charge for my time. I changed that mindset, and it's the same with your art. Your time is valuable. Yes, it is. Because also, it's stop today. You can't give any artwork away from today. If you can give the odd piece, for a birthday present or something like that, but stop giving it away, because you're damaging the art world by doing that. And so, I think if you do want to give art away, give old stuff away that maybe has been sat in a collection, and maybe give it to charity to be auctioned or something like that, or, that's okay. But yeah, value your time. You're right, Kevin. Value your time and value your worth, because there's no better feeling, I promise you, when you start to value yourself and then other people value what you do as well. It is a great, great feeling. And, what that does is it gives that message out to the world as well, that other people should value themselves. So the more you do it, the more you inspire other people to do that in themselves as well. So it's a win-win then. And like I say, there's ways, if you feel guilty, like we do, we buy food, we spend money on food, but there's people starving in the world. But because we need food, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't go out and buy food, because we need it. And so what we do to reduce that feeling of guilt is we give back, and we support charities that are helping people that don't have enough food, and we cut back on the waste. And there's ways that we adapt that, so we don't feel so guilty for sitting down with a nice plate of food in front of us. And it's the same mindset for money. It's absolutely fine to earn money and to have a lot of money, and there's things that we can do to give back and to alleviate that. And so Mandy said, I think there is a market for all sizes of work. Yes, and I suppose it ties into your why and your who. 100%. 100%. Oh yes, talking about this size. In Make Your Mark, we give an example. Goodness me, what is this guy's name? I wish I could remember. He's amazing. He makes artwork. Oh man, I'm going to find him and send it you because you're going to be amazed if you've not come across this guy before. I'm trying to find, I haven't got anything small enough, but see the end of that pin, right? There's a guy in the UK who makes art the size of a pinhead. And you have to look at it through a telescope. And you look at the artwork, and it's a full-on artwork on the size of a pinhead. Size does not matter. Because, and he's doing amazingly well. And so, and this is why, you know, if he got hung up on, oh, I can't make these little pieces, there's no one who's going to buy something that small. You know, if he started letting the fear come in on that, he would not be the successful artist he is now, where he has these exhibitions all around the world and people go and look through his art through a telescope, and he's making amazing money from it. So this is what I'm always saying, is release that fear of, see so many people going, oh, I don't know if I should do this because I don't think it's going to sell. You're blocking this exciting person that has ideas. I was talking to Gemma yesterday after I interviewed her, and she was saying how she is like opening up now. She's at uni and she's not really thinking about the who and what's going to sell. She is getting really like amazing, passionate, like off the chart stuff, like ideas for her art. And that's what you want to tap into, because when you start thinking too much about, is this going to sell, is this going to sell, it derails you completely. So that guy, you know, in his early stages, he wasn't worrying about whether it was going to sell. He was producing something crazy, like minute, that's really, really extraordinary, and he's finding his way. So he's amazing. I'll have to find the name of that guy and put the link in. Can we access the last 2 weeks' videos in the hub? Yes, Diana, I will be putting all the videos inside the hub for you. Yes, so you'll have access to everything, and we'll be working through all of this together as well inside the hub. I'd like to know how to overcome my fear of speaking. My words get jumbled because of disability. Right, I will do a session on that. There is that session inside Laura on speaking with confidence, which is very good. Maybe recap on that with Rebecca Biggie. And so I've got some tips on that, because I had a massive fear of speaking, huge. And so, and look at me now, can't shut me up. And I would do the same. But I didn't jump on my words up. Mine was the opposite. My mind would go blank. So I just sit there and not speak. Like my brain would literally shut down. It still happens now sometimes. My brain shuts down sometimes when I'm like in the, oh my gosh, I'm scared. And I just go mute. So yeah, I think it's a good one to, I've got some tips I will talk inside the hub, because I just realised I'm overrunning a little bit now. This is a good one. So never enough time, never enough money. So Tina, what I want you to start saying is from now on, well, stop saying that. I remember I used to say all the time, I just haven't got enough time. I haven't got enough time to do this. I haven't got enough time. And once I found myself saying that, it must have been 10 times a day. 10 times a day saying the same thing. I haven't got enough time. I haven't got enough time. And if I'd have just stopped saying that, I'd have brought myself back 20 minutes of time. And that's what I did. I stopped. There was one day when I found myself saying that, and I thought, I'm actually giving myself a headache from saying I haven't got enough time. And I wrote on a board, I have the same amount of time as everyone else, 24 hours a day. And from that day on, I stopped saying that. Sometimes I slip, but I stopped saying it, and I never say I don't have enough time, because I do have enough time. It's what I do with the time. And that was a big, big change for me, Tina. And I don't say about the money thing now either, because now what I say is, right, okay, there's something that I want to do and I'd like to have money for this. How am I going to make this work? And I try not to focus on the lack. I try not to focus on, oh my God, we haven't got enough money this month for this, and oh my gosh, we're struggling. All those negative words fuel the lack mindset. And I was experienced the lack mindset just a few months ago. So I'm working on this all the time myself. And I shared this with my hub members because there was a program that I really wanted to do. It's very expensive. And I was in it, and it's expensive. And I just thought, I can't do it. It's just too expensive. We can't afford this. We can't afford that. And I went to this event in Canada, and they flipped my mindset around to that thing that if you want something, you'll find a way to do it. And I left that thinking, this is me now playing bigger. I want to start playing bigger and upping my game, and I want to be in that program, and I'm going to find a way to do it. And I found a way to do it. And now I'm feeling more empowered, and I've flipped it back again of not saying that I don't have enough money, and it feels better. It feels better by not focusing on that and focusing on the opportunities instead. It's a tough one to shift, Tina, but I promise you can do it, and it feels amazing. Where's that book? Feel the fear and do it anyway. If you don't do anything today, go and buy that book. But I used to be that person, never enough time, never enough money. And don't get me wrong, there's still times when I say it. No, Angel. Oh, because like Kevin's saying now, it's like a muscle. You've got to keep working on this all the time. Self-doubt always creeps in with everything we do because we compare ourselves constantly. Yeah, it's human nature. So it rings true what you say about self-belief. I have developed an attitude of I will do what I do. If you like it, great. If not, you are not my people. Yeah, it's been good for me to join the Royal Marine Art Society. And it's a platform for artists that are my people, so connections can be tapped into. Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, Tina said that her family don't take her art seriously, and you'll always get this. You'll always get people that don't believe in your art, that think it's rubbish. When I was doing these workshops, I had people dissing me, saying, "Oh my gosh, what a load of rubbish!" all of this to me, and what did one guy say to me? Oh, I can't even remember now. That's how like a year ago, I'd have been crying, going, "Oh, someone did it was really awful," and now I didn't even respond to them. I haven't got time, to be honest. I just thought I need to focus on my people, the people that are commenting with actually interesting things to say, and so yeah, it's nice when you start to feel that. And I mean, I had one guy once that said to me that I was damaging lives. He said, I'm absolutely disgusted with the work that you do. You are damaging people's lives. And he obviously wanted to argue because he came on my messenger starting to try and argue with me. And he did upset me, actually. That was back in the day. And I was crying. And I'd start to think, why am I doing all of this? And I don't know if I want this because I don't want people to speak to me like that. And I started to doubt myself. I thought, is he right? Am I damaging lives? And he really got into my head, actually. And now I'm really glad that he did that because it's made me stronger. And I love using that as an example because it makes me realise that I've come on a long way from that comment. So the people that say these things do make us stronger, and the rejections, the people that don't understand us, they're never going to go away and will help you deal with those situations. The quicker you can start to carve out your place in the art world, like Kevin was just saying, you then focus on those people, and they're the only thing that matter, you and your people. And that it feels amazing when you start to find your place. It really does. That's going to grow your confidence massively. A mate once said to me that it had looked like his 5-year-old had painted one of my pieces. Oh, I've heard that one so many times, Pete. It's so... another gentleman was moved to tears because the spirit of it reminded of his wife that had passed. See? Oh my gosh, how amazing is that? Confidence comes from knowledge and application. You set up an amazing network, Michelle, with so much information that's already benefiting loads, including me. Anyone who lacks confidence, you have Michelle as your lucky mascot now. You are sorted. Oh my gosh, Pete, thank you so much. That's such a lovely thing to say. But also, I agree with you there that people will say, oh yeah, it looks like a 5-year-old's done it and I could have done that. And it's like, well, you do it then. If it's that easy, you do it. Um, and sometimes it's ignorance. Sometimes it's just people just don't understand. And actually they don't understand it. And they're just flippantly making comments. It's like we maybe don't understand something. I'm trying to think now, but some of the industry that I have not got a clue about. And I might make a flippant comment like, "Oh, well, that's boring," or "I don't really understand that," and that's just my view, and it's not me being rude. It's just how I feel. And there's people that feel like that about art. They don't understand art. They don't get it, and they'll always be there. And so, just focus on your people and prepare yourself for the never retaliate with an emotional response. That's something else I've learned. Is if you feel angry, write the response out and then save it in a draft somewhere. You never want to respond to someone when you're in that emotional state, because one thing that I've learned massively is when people reject you or say something horrible, don't get defensive. Don't go back with an emotional comment back. You get in an argument. That's what I did with that guy who got in my head that once. Either ignore or go back with, get that thing off your chest, the emotional one where you call him every name under the sun and say, you obviously don't know what you're talking about, you idiot. And then park that one and then write, once you've calmed down, a response that is neutral, non-emotional, and say goodbye. If it's in person, then it's nice to just rehearse some things. And you just rehearse these things by coming across them. So people will throw you off guard and you'll think, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. Then next time you'll know what to say, because you'll go away and you'll think, if I'm ever in that situation again, what will I say? And again, all of this is you. You're growing. You're like a tree. You're a little seed in the soil at the moment. And all of these experiences help you grow. And I find, kill them with kindness. I find rude people are really stumped when you're just kind back and you say something back that's very, very kind. And they go, oh, they don't know what to do. And if you're kind back, where can a person go after that? If they come back and say something horrible, then they're the ones with the issue. Oh yeah, and that's something else I've learned, is these people that put you down and have negative things to say, they're carrying an issue inside of them. I've learned that these people that are horrible is because they've got an issue themselves and they're struggling with something. So often now I feel sorry for people because I think, oh God, they've obviously got something really horrible going on in their life and they're struggling, they're angry, and they're like lashing out at people. That's coming from a painful place where they've got issues going on. And so now I try and look at people in that way. I just think they're obviously struggling. And some people are just damn rude. Kill them with kindness. I feel you. My sister told me bluntly I was doing bullshit. The rest of my family never said anything, but I'm sure they agree with her. Well, we don't, Alicia. We love your work, so just come and join us. You've got a new art family now. Well, it's not new. You've been around for years with us. I get some support from my partner, but I don't think he thinks I could make it a job and make money. He comes to markets with me and gets more disappointed than me when we don't make any money. Just show them you have talent. And Kate, it might be that you're putting your work in the wrong place. It might be that the markets are not for you. And so that's what we're going to help you with now, is figure that out. It might not be your place. So you just might need to just change where you're putting your work. Remember the story of Sharon 3 years ago was not making any sales at the art fairs, nothing. And now she's pushing her work up to £2,000. And she's just made £30,000 in 6 months. And this is someone that wasn't selling at art fairs 3 years ago and was spending thousands on shows and traveling around. And so, it's in those early days, it can be difficult, and that's why the hub keeps you going, supporting you. Yes, we're live now, Georgina. Yes, we are. You caught one. Yay. And this is why some of the members now were starting to I didn't come up with this phrase. Some of the other members did, the art mafia. They're starting to call themselves the art mafia, because it's this, coming together, supporting each other and having each other's back. and finding our people. And it's like, anyway, so yeah, it's making me giggle that they've called themselves the art mafia now, but Tina saying, yeah, we'll show them. Let's do it, yeah. Can't give up on art. Can't. Friends are the worst people to share work with. Yeah, in fact, Sharon says this. She said, if your family and your friends don't like your art, you know you've made it. It's like you've made the big time, because they just won't get it. You'll both smoke up your arse, or you'll be overly critical. Rarely do you sell your ideas to friends. No, exactly. And this is the danger, actually, when people start out, because they usually start out, and it's the same in any business. You tell your family and your friends because they're the people in your world. So you tell your family and your friends, and they go, oh, yeah, or they'll buy it to make you feel better. And so what we want to do is find your people, your real people. And you'll find that your family and friends definitely are not those people. Mine aren't. And that's a whole other story I'll share inside the hub, in case anyone's watching. I have to be careful. It taps into being overfamiliar, and we can be brutal to our friends and vice versa. Yes, plus my friends, you tend to give mates rates, which then develops into other friends wanting stuff cheaply. You have to get the business head on. You do. And it takes practice. And boy, we are all glad you did. Yes. I love you, Michelle. I love you too. Your passion is amazing. Oh, thank you, Tina. Infectious. We have the paint parties here in South Africa. Oh, yeah. I've got friends who live in South Africa, which is why we'll plan a trip over there soon. I've been there a few times. I love it. But they do art jam sessions. So I was looking at her pictures, and the art jam. I love that idea of art jam. So, you have like jamming with music, you come together. And I used to, actually, when I first ran my art studios, I did art jam sessions inspired by the South African art jamming on the beach. And I got loads of easels and got everyone together painting. Maybe that's what we do tonight, art jam. But people didn't really get it. Oh, never been to one. I can paint when I drink wine. Yeah. Oh, Tina, that's wonderful. Tina feels like a new person reborn in her art after this workshop. That's amazing. I'm so, so glad. Lottie says feeling the same now too. Could or would some of the hub members be willing to show us some techniques they use? Yes, definitely. Definitely. It's a great idea, Kate. In fact, that's something I want to incorporate into the hub a little bit more. Some kind of, maybe have set days where we share some things. I need to have a think. But yeah, and I think maybe coming together and making together as well. Didn't he do some on a paper note? Joe, you talking about that artist earlier. I'm not sure, I can't remember. I just remember seeing the little tiny ones on a pinhead. Amazing. Art within art. Wow, that sounds interesting. Oh, but could only be seen with an X-ray. Wow. Could you post some pictures inside the hub, please, Kevin? I'd love to see that. Folk want my art but never want to pay, which is both flattering and insulting. Yep. I've given it away for decades. No more taking briefs, no more commissions. I want to create, yes, for me now. And if they like it, they'll buy it, I guess, I hope. Tracy, yeah, make work like that. And then you've joined the hub, haven't you, Tracy? Yeah. And so when we work through, working through this why, we'll start to pull out the purpose of your work and the connections to the who, and we'll start to work on that desire. So, when you're getting those flattering comments, that's wonderful, isn't it? But you want to convert them into sales. And so in the hub, there's a whole section on the who, and you've got different types of who. And sometimes they're just people who are paying nice compliments and they're never going to buy from you. And so they're important, but you need to also figure out who are these people that are going to pay me. Now, it could be the fans, and maybe they just don't understand the work yet. I see that a lot. They want to buy it. They don't know how the work works. They don't know how to buy it. They don't know what it is. Really, they just see it and they're scared. Or it could be that maybe we need to attract new people for you, the people who are actually going to pay for it, loan it, buy it, whatever, related to the purpose of the work. So I always make time for art. It's the rest of my life that worries me. Housework. Oh, I'm going to show you around my house at the moment. That's just one room. They're all like that. Oh, you inspire people to believe in themselves. Oh, thank you. Because you know what? And this is what I think. I'm going to wrap up now because I've been an hour and a half. This has been the longest one yet, but it is the last one. So, I really do believe that it starts there. The mindset, the belief, the confidence in yourself. And we've seen it in the last 2 weeks. People have started to sell because they're gaining a bit more confidence in themselves. They're picking themselves up and they're starting to think, I can do this. And there's power in that. And this is why the hub is so amazing if you want to join us, because we keep that alive. That feeling inside of you will not last because we're human. You know, in 2 weeks' time, it will die. Something will happen. Someone will say something to you, and you'll be crushed, and you'll lose that belief. We can't ride high on a wave continuously. The wave is going to crash down, and know that, you know, whether you're joining the hub or not. But when you crash down, remember that you'll be able to get back on the wave again. I promise you, it's up and down all the time. But in the hub, will keep you. The hub helps you get back on there, gets you back on that wave. And it's like climbing a mountain. I think that it's very exciting. We're all climbing our own mountain. We're all helping each other get up that mountain. And what's exciting is, you know, you're on a journey to get to a destination. But I promise you that that destination probably isn't going to be the place you'll end up. Because as you go on the journey, your eyes are going to be open to opportunities and things that you did not even know existed. And you're going to be blown away by the opportunities that are going to come along, and you're going to think, oh my gosh, I didn't even know about this. And the way I like to think of it is when you're climbing a mountain and we're helping you up the mountain, you're going to stand on that mountain and you're just going to look and see the world from a different perspective and be like, oh. And that's the way I like to see it. And it's not easy. There's going to be days where you have no oxygen and you can't breathe. And that's why having a support group is so important. It really is. So I'm going to end there, and we are going to be back later for the art party. So last chance to watch the workshops. It's the last chance to join the hub. The hub closes tonight. So if you want to join our lovely members and me, where you have support from me inside the hub to help you on your journey, I would love you to join. And if you have any questions, any doubts, just let me know. And I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll see you later for the art party. Take care. Bye-bye.